Ajabuku.
Mia.
Bachon Pomboko de.
Pomboko na so.
Ye krekra krakra. Akwa banso.
Me da se me cha wati efo ne wahwefo.
Atifo Joso, Afonso Joso. Me yen shase ye beko NPP, but me yen shase yen fan free kwanya wo hunu said ye amanyosem e wo mamu ha.
Mem say de bia me maka say adikrontra me Kojo Poku me yes say I'll put my heart in the game and say me feel say the way I am on your semo krom ha no, I think it should be done differently. I've been an observer for a very many years. I think Maka baby since 98 I'm back Ghana and I'm in penifo baby atna and ne o my year juma so mo yam on your sema mahwe. Say ye drew pempen so bia amanyosem no say e kofo. Man mabunu no ene mmofra no maba no omu hu amanyosem say baby e kokopiska. Omu hu ni say baby aye ko for dedication, love and patriotism. It's impempi no any pebi or baby wo hu kwaku mensa di MPP achiko nkran no or the Land Cruiser ba obaye obi aba motide bia motena anka de bia anka onyes ka krantu aka no all of a sudden about so all house on me obi a me na metua na wa tra Land Cruiser mo ti also a wonnum kakra na Land Cruiser ni jasi so yendum no na afi windows ni team fifiri just to show say okon nkran no to be or take constituency be a who mensa was any politics in the moment until they are getting involved for the wrong reasons. And I think Zamanyo Kuno is supposed to be something a non-governmental organization odo who don't want a sacrifice and patriotism. O pese o ko na o sum ku na da chi be o sum mine. But that is going down. And that's why for some of us we decided to say, look, as a businessman for 23 years, we always complain. And most businessmen are what you call armchair politicians. They can't be as we have all the, as businessmen, we have all the complaints. But nobody wants to step up and enter that field of politics. Now, almost all my man yourself no opa for any foul money be anywhere one wine juma cry more than 5 years that. Most of them are lawyers who practice, yes, but in terms of industrialization, business, proper, substantial business, no. Hardly do most of our top politicians have ever worked. I think it was time I would say to send me Kojo Poku, like somebody from the business community who is not more or less a progressional politician. When I say progressional politician, will go through the mill and be our assemblyman or MP, MP, minister, intino, so. A dream so
natural progression.
Natural progression. So I call them policies of progression. Okay. And omono as a politics, no my frontline politicians. And if you say from one step to another. Oh, see, some mindset, Ninya a kokodu phobi to send me from nowhere. He belongs to the party, but he can just challenge the status quo and say, look, it's true, I'm not a frontline politician, but I qualify to run for president and run for president. I think, I've done it to show that it's possible. Yes, I got 3 points, but for me, I think it was worth fighting, and I went around the country to do my bit.
Some critical issues Oboso has got to do with, number one, youth. Seeing politics as a grounds for them to go and make wealth. Number two has got to do with your mentioning that businessmen are unwilling to enter politics. Why is it that businessmen are unwilling to enter politics in Ghana here?
Yes, and it's not even only in Ghana. It's really across the world. Businessmen don't really enter politics. It's only a few places where people, it's either you are into business and you have a philanthropic, and I say, a kumama, a charity, I say, be a kakra, or a supporting party. So your philanthropic nature, oma kakra donation to party. But mostly, businessmen stay doing business and politicians stay politicians. But the problem is that all businessmen now also in your politics, the very survival of your business is to do with the policies made by the businessman. And that businessman has never done the business that you are doing. It is a popular stand, and not only am I a businessman, I'm also a very leading member of the civil society in Ghana under the energy sector. And I have wealth of experience in that sector for 23 years. Look, it's something that needs to change. We are too comfortable being armchair politicians. Look, in the last election, 2020, when we registered people, we registered them 2 months to election. We had 17 million people that came out and registered and took voters' ID card. Only 30 million and change people came out to vote. 4 million people sat out. They are not interested in the political process. We need to change these things. And for me, I want to encourage most people who are just comfortable in their armchair and comfortable in their business to come out of their comfort zone and let's try to fight to basically change the landscape of politics. If we don't do that, it will be a problem because in the long term, look at the kind of people into politics. I'm not trying to say that they are not worthy, but I just think that there should also be a mixture of people who are on this side because we are at the brunt of the policies made in politics. We should also come in. Because when they are in opposition, they come in to do politics. Most businessmen today were once politicians who sometimes probably made money and then co-position that not about being business. But the businessman is not comfortable to come into politics, but always complain that the economy and the taxes also. So let us move away from our comfort zone and get involved in politics. It's the only way.
The second issue has got to do with how a lot of the people view politics in Ghana. Why is it so?
Because the evidence is there. It's just one of the things they ask for, two things they ask for. Remember, in some of them, you buy in free a banker. Some of them, you can free a banker GHU. Two things are not in some of them, home pay. A banker, and it's a banker GHU. A banker GHU there will be a pesa ufi. But then you probably bring a banker. Because a banker today is the easiest way to make money. First, news through a banker. And then nobody is scared of a banker. In fact, people are actually going out there looking for indebtedness to government because it's the only thing you get away with. So the fear is gone. So the area of politics and government has been, I say, a hodna is the easy way to get in, get rich, and get out. And they, look, there's a lot of people today who in 2016, in our government, the NPP government, who in 2016, they couldn't have a pot to piss in. Today, they are rich. Why? At the expense of the population. So those are the things that is attracting a economy in Mofrani Bebre. And that is why most of them want to get into politics. And I think it's wrong. Because then one day, you get a madman like Kojo Poku who becomes president and will jail everybody. Which is what we should do. We should put fear back in Abanka. We should get back to or see a drum pempen. So now, Obihu Abanka waha no akofa the next street, not onam no share Abanka. Yes, because tosa as a 32 million population. Taxes kroya near the boomino. Is kaka krebenya okruma near the boomino. Obie kope sa askani bia fashion butum na or the airpes minkuminya. Yabede yabukrono. So I was see a to me sign call back to the point where people are scared of Abanka. Now nobody. And that for me is a problem. And like I said, the youth should learn. And Yabapa can be look, patriotism is a problem. Right? Because patriotism is a problem. Everybody sees individualistic. Obiya pedio nubenya. Pesma minkuminya. Ya papa no omunye ska otana la tabi okoshi. No disrespect to la tabi okoshi. But otana hoche ansa ne bia on to asasi bi o East Legon na odi be 5-6 years odisi. Ene nipa ne bankran. In 2 days obeso otana East Legon. In 3 days obeso otana cantonment. It's not possible. And where are they looking for money? Yesika ketwa na ewo yefu yewo ye basket mu as abino
Your futu
mu how no be a person confesses kana. Nobody wants to work. So private businesses are not doing well, but all politicians are making money. That is the problem.
I am Bishia Penifo Bisaram and Yaji. No cranede.
No, it's the truth. And then when I didn't they look on look, do you know how much a Land Cruiser is? It's $120,000.
Dollars, yeah.
Most nipa P in their private life cannot afford a Land Cruiser. But Oba mu pay 2 or 3. Adidra. That's the problem. How nipa ka in their private life they buy Land Cruisers. Land Cruiser pre ukromen in any company they are buying there. Ka krebi na oman kasa first omusika Land Cruiser. Nipa ka krebi eskafo mu kromom yomajuma no. But the problem is I make say, look, the focus and why I want me starting from our conversation is for me, I'm very passionate about those things. The focus on try say ye pepe ahunya dako. You know, ahunya dako no is too much, and we need to check that with the youth. We need to really in Penifona, we've lost that generation, but the youth we need to.
So there is nothing we can do about Penifona as we speak now.
You can't teach old dogs new tricks. Obviously, but in Korano, you see you two your renti bring back that sense of patriotism for them to be able to. Because
look, but how is that going to be possible? Because that's the question. Because
it's leadership.
So obia owo wa motivating who say okay, penyi bia medi na chie, and obia my friend godfather in a particular political party has been doing this, and this is what he's been getting from what he's been doing.
Leadership. That's all it is. Leadership. It takes one person to change a lot of things.
Don't we have that?
For now, no. For now, we don't have leadership. I've said it over and over, so we don't have leadership in the country. There's no leadership.
So what do we have?
I don't know what... I mean, but we don't have... Look, that's what I'm saying. I got into this thing because I felt that there is no leadership. There's no leadership.
So how then, Mr. Poku, how are we then running the country if you don't have leadership?
Well, we have... You see, there are two different things. Mm-hmm. There are managers and there are leaders. A manager is not necessarily a leader. So who a manager? He's not necessarily a leader. He's a manager. Mm-hmm. But the question is he a leader? We have people managing the economy, but can we call them leaders? I don't think so. To me, I think most of the problems in Ghana today is lack of leadership. And I've said it everywhere. And I'll say it again, lack of leadership. Managers are not necessarily good leaders. That is the fundamental thing that NPP, getting mistake. Say, oh, your manager. Yes, he's your manager, but is he a leader? Leader, you'll be a. When you come into contact with a leader now, you walk away with a certain qualities. That person brings the best out of you. That's a leader. Leader is somebody who, when you walk away from that person, he impacts knowledge. He makes you feel that, wow, I can one day be like him. That's a leader. Okay? Leaders are not just people who just lead and manage. No. Leaders should have certain qualities. And I'm saying that today, fundamental problems in Ghana is to do with leadership. Because that's why we keep saying that leadership by example. Okay? So if we have a certain type of leadership, that will set the tone for no nonsense. Set the tone. I don't know how old you are, but me 79, 81. It wasn't a good period for us to go through, right? But there was fear. 79, 81, it was a you are scared. We slept at 6 o'clock for like 3-4 years. Okay? So when you go through that psychological thing and you come out, everybody was scared. Those times, look, somebody was killed for having 2 toilets in their house. 2 WC. The person was killed. Was it a good thing? No, I don't think so. Did the person go through proper due process to try out? No, it wasn't. But you see, over the period, we have now gone too far to the other side where today nobody has fear. And it's where we have a problem. We should also see a balance of. The balance would be in the middle, where we are not too far to the right and we are not too far to the left. But today, I think we are too far to the left. We are too far to the left. We need to bring it back to the middle.
We've gone off-road.
We've gone off-road, clearly. And to me, it's leadership.
The current cohort of politicians, don't you see any leader amongst them?
No. No. That's why I wanted to lead. And that's what I want to bring. You see, and that question is a bit relative. Okay? Somebody might see certain qualities in somebody and call that person a leader. I am speaking from me, Kojo Poku, my perspective. My type of a leader, I don't see it. You could see it differently. Somebody, our listeners know here, they could see it differently. So somebody might emerge tomorrow and call themselves a leader. I will look at that person and I think, no, I don't think you're a leader. for me, from my perspective as Kojo Poku, no, the reason I got into this race to run for president is because when I looked at the horizon, I didn't see any leaders.
Happy 90.9 FM now, so good so here, no Kojo Poku. Oh yeah, a member of the New Patriotic Party, Okujina said, delegate Anthony Swaba to become the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party. And then on enemy special guest Wofia and Menene Extreme Como. And it's quite clear from a common baby. I shall see every as we speak now. Political leadership there. We don't have leaders, so we are just managing whatever it is that we have and no pay any the age. But what do you want us to change? At the end of what
Look, fundamentally, most things have to be BBI or CSM. Ghana, Mimi Huni say, Yan 2 year boy say, post independence, we had multiple coups. So, Yan 2 year boy say, any uncle drew Pempensubia, Sanka, Akara, Tatano, and Nantina, we yasa. You quote your call from point A, now. Disruption about point B, disruption about. They went through a dark period for 21 years of mostly no progression during the PNDC and DC era. Then from 2000, we had to catch up. So we share among any democracy around the world. The biggest time when prosperity in most countries really developed was between the 70s and the 80s. The Cold War ended in the early 70s.
70s, yeah.
Post 1970s, that's where the world developed. Yeah, at that time, no, we are still going through coups. So after 2000, when President Kufuor came in, was really when Ghana actually looked at them. Ghanaians looked at themselves. First, now Obi talk Accra no so.
Yeah.
And then Obi to chike bi ope. But first, Ghana no Obi ko talk the type of car or talk no so. Say, hey, kaya me ko to what is it? But now we've gone. You see, so you've seen the offspring of shops all across the country. First, no be a shop crowd no because we went through areas of who shop their bone don't come and all those things. So we went through that dark period of period. Now, then we got into politics, which is Amanyosem, which we know it. Then we have a system where there was a long queue of people who have been in opposition for a very long time. So that thing of a magical queue of people who has to lead. And then obviously, maybe 49 years, me akwara me and Tomano, you grooming. Oh well, that was some of the things that were said against me. Say, oh, I'm a good person, me with good ideas, but me sa, young China, young groom me. And some people bought into that idea. So, so I feel no young China, actually no, oh, time on your side. At 49 years, people think there's time on my side. That's fine. And I think it's a compliment. But if you look at Yamanyo Semwa, the question is, what are the kind of people that were in politics at that time? And what has been the transition from? And who are the people that we have? So clearly, no, we just had a backlog in NPP. We had a backlog of people who have been in opposition, and everybody felt that, look, I want to do this, I want to do this.
I remember
and all those things, right? So then we have the politics. But look, the structures of the party needs looking at. We need resources at the grassroots because it's a parliamentary set democracy. If your constituency is weaker, unya MPs, because the politics is at the constituency level. So you need to strengthen the base because with shape politics now, it's a pyramid shape. Your strength is at the base, which is the constituency level. That is where the activity was. All the resources should also call or constituency. Now, where they strengthen the activities at the constituency. And that is what will give you the needed MPs to be able to have majority in parliament. That will strengthen your democracy as a political party. Now, the constituencies are very weak. Resources are mostly at the national level, not at the constituency level. We have a system where the regional chairmen are very, very powerful, which for me, I think is too much, the power within the regional chairman, because there's no regional MPs. Okay, so regional chairman, why is he so powerful? The resources are supposed to go to the constituency, it's distributed through the regional chairman. The regional chairmen are seen as the main guys who control the regions, but they don't produce any MPs. Okay, so a lot needs to change. We need to reform how we get resources from the national to the constituency. We need to reform the committees that we have at the party level, where council, which is the National Council, is the second largest body after our National Assembly, we need to have a certain, for me, I think we should have a body which encompasses MPs and constituency chairmen, because they are the base of the party.
What submitted all of these ideas to?
Those were part of my campaigns. When I went around to campaign during the last 18 months, those were some of the things I campaigned.
During the vetting, you mentioned these things to them.
It's one of the fundamental message that I have as a person who was running for leadership of the party and to be a flag bearer. Those are my messages. And look, I think the party, we were going through a lot of things during this presidential campaign. At the end of it, the focus will be to beat NDC in 2024. Then after that, we will now look internally as a party and do some of the changes that needs to be done.
Yeah, but the party, and we'll talk extensively about the New Patriotic Party, Jumedia Moody, Ibinomo said the party as we speak now, very weak. Baby Ujinano, and said that and yet be a papa. Now, here you bit me so bonnet on your fortunes going into the 2024 elections. We'll talk about a presidential primaries, the ACOSO as up until now. And here I can say, and right, was a balloting for the 5 candidates here. One more to obey you, woman, and rank so. One more at the crater about to say they've postponed it. But a quick one. We'll share the history of Anasi Abakosem, Yamanyo Semua. Na ode, Yamfana say a free 1961. Ekopim 1966. Dr. Osajevo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, you na dear so. Now, over 500 the First Republic. Now, call the other republics up until and then the Fourth Republic here. A dear pa na sa ewo kwanya ye faso amanyosem.
Did we really have amanyosem in the First Republic? We didn't do. And Koso, you see, before independence, we had, you see, in opposition, your oppositioner, there are like-mindedness. Then the minute leadership reality, then there's division. So let's say in the, is it the Great Consolidated People's Party, the GCP? Okay.
Yeah.
They all had one agenda, independence. Right, so we're all focused on trying to get independence from colonial rule. So that one, we're all focused. Then along the line, Nkrumah came in and realized, look, yes, you guys want independence, but you are too diplomatic for my liking. I'm a bit radical. I want to have a very more radical approach, and I think I have the following to do that. And Nkrumah went to the point where he cultivated a certain level of cult following. Those times Nkrumah, we need to start Biakra. The whole Ghana will be a style. So he actually cultivated some level of cult following, and he felt that with that, Internet started with Boys Brigade and all those things. So he had a certain level of cult following, and through that, he was able to win all the elections that came up. One he was even in prison when the election was held. Right? Yeah. And you realize that after we went through 61 to 60, Nkrumah had stiff. I wouldn't say it was Kebimami Kembiabambo. There was the colonials that were leaving. There was CPP, which Nkrumah felt that, okay, all the people that had called the Kumasi people who were trying to do Biati home, yes, we want to go back to what it was before, the accord that was signed, we want to now Yati and all that. So he felt he needed to suppress a certain level of noise. As a result, he brought back order.
Yeah,
which now
preventive detention order,
which now he felt he needed some level of sanity to rule, because the noise and the distraction from all the other people so he went heavy-handedness with the prevention detective order. So I don't really think that we had really a Kemami Kembia Amambu in the Nkrumah period. It was really he wanted to tilt towards a one-party state, and he was in that path, which led to the coup of 66. Then we had the coup which came in, and then later had the Second Republic. That one to Anche. So really and truly, we practiced a different type of democracy at that time, where at that time we had a prime minister and a president. Okay, so that system was different. The Second Republic system was a bit different from the First Republic. Subsequently, we've experimented a little. Then the SMC one and the NRC and all those came, which led to the PNDC, and then now we are here. The only time we've really, really practiced democracy for a longest period since the inception of Ghana is the 92 till now. It's the longest. The Fourth Republic is the longest. And that is when our democracy is now having its challenges. Because we've gone through two parties, we are Bako, we are Babi Humbi, we call opposition, we are Ba. So, in Enumponi, Ababe Hum say, okay, even with our constitution, no, there are some potholes, I will say, to me, a change, and I say, failures are potholes. No. So, I don't think there was democracy in the First, Second, and Third Republic. I think really and truly, the Third Republic, Anche. Third Republic, I need 18 months. I mean, from June, I don't even remember what date Nkrumah was sworn. Liman was sworn, and then to the 31st December, Kuno. And Nkrumah wasn't allowed to do anything. So the only democracy that we can really talk of, which has been tried and tested, is the Fourth Republic that we are in.
So the past 3 decades.
Yep.
How will you assess that?
This current one?
Yeah.
It's the best we've ever had. I mean, you can't, if you are to compare, is it better than what we've had before? Yes. It's the longest and the better that we've had.
Has it been able to deliver what it promised?
See, that's a difficult question. What are we delivering? So what's democracy? I say the formation of a state, the common good, was the standard of living of the people within the state. How people will have to go from the poor to the bourgeoisie to middle class. Bourgeoisie is middle class to wealth. Okay, you have to understand that we have not been able to deliver that as a state. We still have serious poverty within the country. The middle class has not grown the way it's supposed to grow. Migration from poverty, middle class to rich doesn't exist. It's really obscured in a certain way. We haven't delivered the mandate of a state. We haven't. If we were to deliver the mandate of a state, I keep saying, before we found oil, there were certain things that were very peculiar to Ghana. Our currency was depreciation. We had all these problems every year on year. And Obiasu will come the year, all these things were there before we found oil. Then we found oil and we say, hooray, we are going to be a rich nation because we found oil. But before that, we've had gold, right? Gold, and trick. Okay. So now, 2007, we jubilated, 2011, first oil. Then we've done 12 years of first oil. Has our currency stopped depreciating? No. Have people have money in their pocket? No. Standard of living has not improved. Our roads still, some are better, some are not. But majority of them are still not. So it tells you, if you try to look at, has the democracy delivered to the people? And they be a makers among yourself, no. Politicians, no. We try to tell the people what it is. But the right thing, partner say, what we have done. It's not the be so and your ma ya no yanko kan omu there be why yanka nipa be catch us why because you feel say your ma no ekro so and your ma ye no sika o say dey ni so enti kakra na be no so ye dey ultra so o bo ndekuro but kan kura mu dia kan papa de say why your ma me ya be ka say amanyosem sorry governance amambuo it is seen not heard. Governance is seen not heard. You yente. Nti se mabu man ni ye a obi a be hu se mabu man ni ye. Enya me no se metra ka kire o se mabu man ni ye. So if you look at the consensus within the Fourth Republic, no, democracy have not delivered to the people.
Happy night, everyone. FM no so guso no. Pa ho ada ben. Owura Kojo Poku me special guest. Me no twetwe nkomo na awie. Ibrahim Bafo Apawa Pention say Sifa Honorable Kojo Poku is a fine brain, and I hope he gets a leading role to play in the NPP Camp 2024. Regards to Ama Frimpoma Esquire, incoming member of Parliament for Sinyain West constituency. Salikem Selios, good afternoon, Sifa. I think this man has the brain, but he found himself in a wrong political party. He found himself in a wrong political party. And
which one will be the right one? Which one will be?
Sally, which of the parties will be the right one for him to be in? I say wrong political party, but we need him. We need to have a third force in this country, and I think Alan should stand for independent candidate and Mr. Poku as vice president. God bless you, Sifa. And please talk about Santor Road. Santor Road, I have to drive there myself. Now me amid the mania hunubi. Now me ba betena radio so a enye bosirimuka. Enye so nim say de metie. Enye kotie koka. De me di mania hunu. Eda me di ehun adanse. But you me the message, this one says that my name is Mr. FX from Finya. I'm so much in love with Mr. Kojo Poku speaking over here. He's really making so much national sense, and as you know already, it's a festival of ideas, and I really love the conversation that I'm having. We and your NPP and as the NDC, we are talking about the state called Ghana. Or my Ghana need the home. Ajaboku, me call into your party, Kakra. Now you call into your bed to run.
Okay.
You were very confident.
Yes.
Say delegates. Bet me to Obama and Muababe D party and him going into the 2024. What really happened?
Well, I'm saying to be a Makase. NPPs who can say I'll be disappointed. I'll never be disappointed. Why would I be disappointed? Election, say Ghana Bar Association for your election. Obi anka hwasem. Ghana Medical Association obi anka hwasem. NPP Kono, a private association, a cool. The only at the contrary will be a person who says asem if you say amanyo sem no nipa na oba be di animu no oba be president one day, so we are interested. So clearly no na e was say me call na me ni party for ekudi nkomo na me de me nhyehyeye e ma wo mo. So what don't nhyehyeye koto ho na waka ni nyina de obeka nyina wi it's up to the party people, no delegates need to go and do what? Vote and say oh asema kan no me forso or me forso. I think some of the campaign that went on, again, like I said, was that, yes, or nice ideas or fine ideas, he's brilliant in the party, he's the future. But I can't see a year, Mama mo and we still vote on him. Yeah, young groomino for future. And him and him until Mama young Toma in Penimfona or more anymore. And I think it was unfortunate, say, or more a G2 Mumaniko Basa. But if I become president at the age of 50, 51, there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Oh, because the Krobisu or home president 40 years crowd on Obama did 48, no the president of America. Yeah. But I think say Ghana no your mindset ni say or say in fee a war who kakra and san which is fine. I accept that. The most important thing is say I will still stay focused and be part of the party and work within the party to do the reforms which are me proposing say and I think I can do that. I will work with the party and whoever emerges as the leader. No. But I was confident. I made a message koi obutie guys. Oh, those that came around, the guy with the message was Kojo Poku. They'll tell you. I had the best message for the delegates. But like I said, the other side was that Muma Yede, Yaman Mreka Krana on some party ne kakran sanye de akunyana mano.
How does that make you feel? Say wako form ni delegate akwa kudin komo na oma je ensemu a wo kantum, then there is a group of individuals who feel say usa potential no enti momia man ntena nchen kakra na ye grumi no
in a way flattered, but in a way a bit irritated. I don't know, Abita makes it too. No? In a sense that me from day one, I knew it was going to take a lot of education, orientation for Ghana to accept a younger person like me to lead. Because one, nipa pikas na onye MP impoda, onye weda no onye assemblyman impoda. Forgetting say none of the front runners have done these things before. Dr. Baomi anye MP da, Dr. Baomi anye assemblyman da, onye bibiada. Alan Koyocho Martin has never done any of these things before. So that for me was just something I almost can or so some party anymore. And now on Shedanya frontline politicians. Well, I accept those things in good faith. Going forward, I'm going to be visible and do my best. But like I said, flattered in the sense that everybody feels that, oh, he's the future. You know, but since when you and see a catcher, what it needs someone to me or there because you not just show up one day and say it's a dream. So nobody will believe you, right? A dream is any oh, you have to work over the years and make sure say you prepare for that day. Yes, I'm flattered that in the NPP cancer asem. But I think say they should have taken a chance on the young guy to change the things that we need to change. Ghana, no, we can't do the same things and expect different results. Economies don't fix themselves. Somebody has to come to fix the economy.
Obekobio, say Akunyaba.
Oh yes, 100%. Tell me tinkwam na nyankopon shemedin na say me da sorry na ketre da bojumu. Yes, definitely. It was a good exercise. I think I've made a good contact, a good connect. I've been to places that naturally and can minim ho. I've minim ma koni pe bi fie no ma kodin komo ba kona bi organa ha kan me kran kan me ra hoda. The experience is great and I don't think say meti me wa hoden na me meti nkwamu I will not do it again.